Let's get a few baseline shots with your current 7-iron here and see what's going on.
All right, perfect.
That's a good one there. Do you normally play a little right to left golf shot?
I do, and right now that's the miss. So
kind of overhooking?
Yeah, it's starting left and going left.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's like stock distance for this like on course?
175.
Okay.
On a warm, nice, like feeling it day, 180.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, those first two went 175, so.
Yeah.
Is that thin?
Little thin.
Hit another one.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at some numbers here and kind of talk our way through what's going on. So let's just go left to right across that top row. So club head speed at 90. You got a pretty heavy shaft in your club right now. I think that's a great fit for you.
Okay.
You got plenty of speed for it. You're kind of in that borderline extra stiff kind of window.
Yeah.
You know, when we start hitting some stuff, we may play around a little bit, maybe have you hit an X, see what your thoughts are.
Sure.
It's not going to make a massive difference when it comes to ball flight, more of a feel thing with you.
Okay.
Smash is ball speed divided by club speed, like an impact ratio thing. Right around 140 is pretty solid for a 7-iron, so making great contact. Based on your club head speed, you can make an argument that that launch angle number is maybe a little bit on the low side.
Yeah.
Like when you get up to the top end of your bag, is like holding greens and stuff a little tough?
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even into this, honestly, like there's a lot of times out on course that I'll hit a 7 and it feels so good. And then I look up and like my eyes kind of have to go down. And then I see it hit like the front of a green and go all the way to the back. And that, other than the big pole that I'm dealing with right now, that's the most annoying thing on the planet to see.
Okay. What ball do you play?
Right now a Staff Model X. Okay. So I'm switching between that and like a TP5. So I usually try to get a spinnier ball.
Higher spinning ball, which is good. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, at least like we look at like the last couple numbers there, height and land angle, those are fine for 7-iron. But if you imagine like a window out there we're trying to hit it through, that's like the bottom end of that window.
Yeah.
You know, you got plenty of speed. Like I'd love to see if we can get that apex height up to like 100 with a 7-iron.
Okay.
And then if we can land it a little closer to 50.
Sure.
You know, that way, you know, we're not tour players, so we're going to lose a little bit when we go from 7 to 6 to 5 to 4. You know, we can still get it to where the long iron is going to land like that 7-iron.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, so now that longer iron is still going to give you a chance to stay on a green.
Perfect.
Attack-wise, you can take a divot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So superintendents love me. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where that launch is coming from. Jump ahead a little bit. Look at that dynamic loft number there. So you're delivering that thing a little less than 20 degrees of loft when you get to impact. That's where that little lower loft or lower launch is coming from.
Okay.
Great delivery of the club. A little bit from the inside. Face is a smidge closed. It allows you to hit that a nice tight little draw.
Yeah.
I got no issues whatsoever there. That's really good. But yeah, the big thing is if we can maybe try and get that launch angle up a couple degrees without really affecting that spin. That would be huge because I don't want that ball to start ballooning and then kind of hitting that land condition we want. And then if, you know, God forbid you play golf when it's windy, that shot's going to be impossible to control.
Yeah, absolutely. So. It's if there was like one just like turnkey magic button I could do, it would definitely be to get the ball up in the air a little bit more. If for no other dumb reason than I have a couple shots at my home course.
Sure.
Where if I could hit the ball as high as some of the guys that I play with, I'd be in a lot better situation just because of the like weird lanes we can take in my home course. But because it's funny because like into the wind, I never usually have a problem. And then I started to realize it's because I don't hit the ball high enough in the first place. So fighting it for me is not an issue, but also my standard ball flight usually doesn't get much
your stock
impact.
swing is a flighted golf shot.
Yeah, exactly. Like so I'd rather have like the ability to actually flight a ball because my standard shot is higher in the air. So cool.
Awesome.
Sounds good to me.
Let me go take a couple measurements of your current 7-iron here just so we can see loft lie where we're working at, and go from there.
So for people watching, why are we measuring what I currently have?
So it gives us an idea, kind of, that dynamic loft number we were talking about.
Yeah.
It kind of lets me know how much shaft lean you have, kind of why your ball's launching, how it is. If this is a 28 degree 7-iron versus a 34 degree 7-iron,
Sure.
now that amount of shaft lean you have is totally different.
Yeah.
So then when it comes to figuring out where we need to be loft-wise, shaft, all that stuff, it just gives us a better idea where to start from.
Perfect.
So we got like 34 degrees of loft and then 61 on the lie. So
Okay.
Based on what you're playing, it's about 1 degree flat
Okay.
and standard loft. Does that
should be-
sound about right from when you got them?
That sounds right, yeah.
Okay.
The guy that built those clubs is myself, so I was kind of hoping they were going to be accurate, but
Yeah.
that makes me feel
Awesome.
a little bit
Good
better.
job.
Yeah, makes me feel a little bit better that I did a
Good job. Let's build a couple things and let's see what we can do.
Cool.
All
Sounds
right.
good. All right. The only other thing would be these are, I believe to Cobra standard, these are half short, which I don't need to stay half short, but I just want to throw that out.
Okay, well here, let's measure it real quick. And so from most companies, it's about a 1/4 inch.
Okay.
Yeah, Cobra's standard length's just a tiny bit longer than others, but
Okay.
and they actually measure to end of grip, not end of shaft. So that's a little bit of a unique thing too.
Gotcha.
So awesome. Anything you had your eye on that you wanted to start with?
If you're okay with it, I'd really like to just see what you recommend
Awesome.
and just stay out of it if that's okay with you.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah, let's go. Let's build some stuff. So this is TaylorMade's P7CB, Project X60, 1 degree flat. I got you back at standard lie.
Okay.
Or standard length.
Okay.
Looking at impact location from yours, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, but you favor the toe just a tiny bit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that maybe another 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch in length that we got here, hopefully will shift us off that toe a little bit.
Okay.
And maybe give us a little more stability in your ball flight.
Sweet.
So let's hit a few and see what this does for us.
And that felt really good.
Yeah, so there's a couple miles an hour more ball speed than what we got out of your current one.
So that's on par with the miss right now.
Okay, let me have that back. Let me make a little other lie tweak to this and see if we can help that.
It feels really good though.
Yeah. So again, there's another 2, maybe 3 miles an hour ball speed, which even though launch angle didn't change a whole lot, spin didn't really change, but the fact that it's a little faster, now we got another, almost 10 feet, 7, 8 feet of height now.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that was.
that's what we want every time.
That's a window I haven't seen in a while.
So that's just 1 more degree flatter is all I did. This is
Okay.
too flat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so now, notice too, once we made this little change, that left ball is gone,
Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah.
you know? And there's our 100 or so foot apex
Whoa.
number. I think the club's just getting into the turf better now, so, a guy like you that swings it really consistently, that makes good contact, now we're just gonna see a tighter group in numbers. You're gonna see less variance in ball speed and launch and
Yeah.
spin. So hopefully now that carry number, that delta from like the best shot you've ever hit in your life to like a so-so shot now is gonna get smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, and that one too, like now it looks as if, like once you flatten it out a little bit more.
Just look better at setup too.
Yeah, and because I know that like everything lately, the bad has been left going left, like my takeaway has gotten so messed up because I start trying to open it up on takeaway to just fight the left or something like that. And now this just looks like it's neutral.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to do anything to fix it.
You can just let it go and the ball's
Yeah.
gonna go straight.
That's so cool.
But what I like about that one, so draws always spin a little less, right? And they tend to apex lower and all that. Even though that one turned over a bit, it went, 2 yards longer. Ball still got 100 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Still had plenty of spin on it.
Yeah.
Still landed great, you know?
How many more you want?
I really don't need any more with this. I'm pretty comfortable here.
Okay.
Let's kind of work our way through some other brands. Let's see what we got, all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you think.
Cool.
No, that's so nice. Felt a little bottomy.
Now we got T100.
Okay.
Same shaft, lie setup, everything that we just did in that TaylorMade. So
Okay.
Project X, 6.0, 2 flat.
Slightly more compact head, you
Maybe
think?
a little bit shorter blade length, but should be pretty similar.
I like
Spec-wise, it does have 1 degree more loft than what you just hit there, but
Sure. Whoa.
it's pretty good.
I could feel the head just a little bit more on this than I could on the TaylorMade.
Okay.
Like through impact, it just feels a little bit more active, even though same shaft.
Just love the fact that we're not seeing that thing dive left now.
Yeah, that ball actually moved to the right.
There you go. That's the shape that really suits your eye, right? Just
Yeah,
that,
that's like
fall off
perfect.
draw like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that looks so good.
Yeah. But again, I mean, numbers wise, we're right back up there at 100 feet.
Yeah.
Got plenty of spin. It's really good.
Yeah, I think
Feel wise, between this and the TaylorMade, what are your thoughts?
the TaylorMade felt a little bit better, just a little bit softer through impact. But I liked the flight out of this, I think, a little bit
Okay.
more.
Okay.
They're pretty dead even right now for me. Yeah.
If you're trying to like pick apart some data to kind of guide it a little bit.
Yeah.
The fact that we didn't see really any difference in dispersion, height, anything like that.
Sure.
That TaylorMade came off just a little bit faster.
Yeah.
So if we're talking weather play, into the wind, crosswinds, that kind of stuff, little added speed's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But look, sound, and feel is also
Yeah.
a huge, huge part of it. That, you know, you mentioned the thing, being able to feel the head a little bit better here.
Yeah.
That's something you like. Kind of.
To me, it would be, how do you feel about the 6 and the 5 iron in the T100 versus those? Because that's where it would get me, is like, if my 7 iron, if either one of these, like, let's call it 177 yards.
Sure.
The question would be, for me, like, how am I going to gap down to my gap wedge and then up to the 5 and the
Sure.
6? Like, do you see more ball speed production out of the T100 5 and 6 or out of that 5 and 6? Because in the top end, I need the ball speed.
Yeah, it should be
out.
pretty close, but once we get to that part of the fitting, like we can
Yeah.
also talk like combo set options.
Sure.
You know, we could do like a 770 long iron in that, or we could do
Yeah.
like T150, play with loft a little bit if we need to in that Titleist iron. You know, to get us a little bit meatier golf club for
Yeah.
like that top end of the bag to help with speed, forgiveness, all of that.
Sure.
I do that in my bag.
Yeah.
It's real
Yeah, that's
common.
my current bags. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, it's real common to do some sort of blended kind of options, as long as we pay attention to loft, where we don't kind of create a gap that we don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, it gets tough with that. Wherever
Yeah.
you break that set, it gets tough.
Yeah, but as long as we pay attention to loft and kind of tweak stuff accordingly.
Sure.
Yeah, that would probably take care of any kind of ball speed issues
Okay.
at the top end of the bag.
Okay.
Let's keep moving down the wall. Let's try
Yeah.
something else.
Let's go for it. Yeah.
The only bad thing about this is you might have to change golf balls by the time we're done.
So I get asked the question all the time, right? Like, how do you either fit yourself, or people ask me, like, with the amount of stuff that I have access to, like, how the hell do you decide what's going on? And I usually tell them, I'm like, I usually do a bad job of it. Like, I haven't gone and seen somebody correctly, because I'll either switch stuff out all the time because I'm testing stuff, or I'll put stuff in because it worked for half an hour. So I imagine it's going to work for, a week worth of rounds, and then it doesn't. And so I was stuck in a spec from like a long time ago. A lot of swing stuff has changed. I think like the last time I changed my spec was also before I broke my wrist a year and a half ago. So like a lot has changed, and I haven't changed my spec because it's always just been what it is.
And like, it's not just like, I mean, you haven't like gotten taller or shorter.
Yeah.
But if like, based on how you deliver the club to the golf ball, club path, all that stuff
Yeah.
can affect what length you need to
100%.
get you to strike it in the center of the club, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So if an injury or something like
Yeah.
that caused a little bit of a change in club delivery,
Yeah.
it wouldn't shock me
time.
one bit if we need to play with shaft length a quarter inch here or there or something. And I think that length adjustment's just really helping
Yeah,
you.
it's making a huge difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
This to me feels. I feel like once I get into transition, it feels like from here it just dumps.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like I get to here fine, it feels good, and then from here it just feels like the head's just coming down. Yeah.
Like swing weight almost feels too high, or just a.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that would probably be what it is. It feels like once I get into the second half, I lose where it's
You
at.
kind of lose where the head's at.
Like
Okay.
I'm trying to stay down on it
Sure.
a little bit, and it just feels like compared to that tie twist or the TaylorMade so far, that felt really neutral. Like I wasn't trying to
Yeah, I mean, that's a great golf shot.
get into it.
But like
that
at the end of the day, though, you know, you don't want to play an iron where that you got to fight a little bit throughout
Yeah.
the golf swing. You know, like
Yeah.
if that TaylorMade and the Titleist felt like, you know, see ball, hit ball kind of thing, then
Yes. Yeah.
you know, cool.
Yeah, between those two and this one, which would be the three so far, it would still be between those two
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go grab the kind of the last one I want you to try
Okay.
here and see what we can do with that.
Cool. I can't remember the last time I set one of these down. That
So-
looks really good though.
Little bit of a biased choice here. This is what I play.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
it's a fabulous iron.
Okay. That felt
There it is.
so good. Strictly feel-wise off the face, it's now between this and the TaylorMade for sure.
Again, we look at some like those numbers there. That's like exactly what we got out of the TaylorMade. You know, high 120s, pushing 130 ball speed, 100-foot apex. It's really good.
It doesn't. That's interesting because it doesn't feel as fast.
Yeah.
Like I expected to look up and be like 125, 126 like my gamers are, because that's kind of how it feels. Like It feels like those, and those are MBs.
Yeah.
So for this to feel like that is very cool.
I think that's why you've seen like this get so embraced by tour staff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, heck, it just won the Women's U.S. Open.
Yeah. It's another felt like just low heel.
It held its line good though.
Yeah, it's not moving much.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really good. And it actually moved right. Holy cow, who'd have thought?
So compared to most brands, Ping's a little bit flatter out of the box.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is Orange Dot, which is too flat in Ping.
Okay.
If you'd like to see it kind of turn over a little easier, maybe we do Red, which is only one flat.
Okay, do we want to make, can I see that?
Sure, yeah, let me have it.
Because that, I don't hate that at all.
Yeah.
I just,
But like if your eye doesn't naturally see that little, you know.
yeah, on all four of those when I looked up, I had to like shift real quick because
Yeah.
the ball was going the opposite way, yeah.
Yeah, like if your eye doesn't naturally see
Yeah.
that, then let's
It's
just.
still, that ball speed is still, so, it doesn't feel like it, it doesn't feel like I have to manufacture that ball speed. It feels like it's just coming off of there,
Yeah.
and I look up and it's totally fine.
For being a single piece forged golf club,
Yeah,
it still packs a little punch.
there we go.
There it is. There's that straight ball to it, straight shot to its apex, and it just kind of fell left.
Yeah, my coach would be proud of that one. Like that's open club face again, but man, like that. Like
Yeah.
that's
That's a
That's
5-yard
fine.
draw, 8-yard draw, you know?
and a little thin, and still at 128. I wouldn't expect like I think I've hit this before this
It's really good.
twice. Like I haven't had any extended period of this. I would not have expected those shots to line up the way they did out of this shape of a head.
Yeah, I mean, it's small, it's
super
compact.
surprising. Yeah.
You know, not that there's not technology in it, but but it's a solid single piece iron, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not a hollow body distance kind of iron, but you still get some killer performance out of it.
Yeah. So you definitely notice the size difference now between that and this. It's not bad. It's not big.
The top line shouldn't be dramatic. It's
No,
just
it's
a
just the
longer
blade
blade. A
length.
longer
Yeah.
blade. Yeah.
Oh, this is it.
That's so good.
This is it. Yeah. That felt so good off the face too.
And again, there's that stock little kind of fall left draw that
Yeah.
you like to see. You know.
Yeah, just tiny.
That was 3.5 yards. That thing went right to left.
But at 108.
Yeah. I think it might be time to make a golf ball change.
So, okay, so let's talk about that. Where do you think you're headed? Like, that's a miss, and it was almost the same exact shot.
Yeah, it's almost went through the same window.
Yeah, like super low in the face.
Yeah,
lost
a little
speed.
ball speed. Yep. But we
But
lost
didn't lose
4
any.
yards. So
And it's still higher than my
and
gamer.
it's still higher than your gamer. Yeah.
Son of a gun. All right.
So
Okay.
as far as ball goes,
Yeah.
like you mentioned, you play TP5 sometimes. I would say just play TP5X
That's easy.
or
'cause I
Pro
played-
V1 or
Yeah, because I played
Chrome Tour.
I switched from TP5X into the Staff Model X because of what's been going on.
Yeah.
Just because of the height issue. Like, I just needed the ball to spin.
Sure.
I would happily move back to TP5X
Yeah.
because it'll make my driver more
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, just switch back to that. I think you're fine. Which you can make an argument again, like if you want to like deep dive into kind of what happens at impact when you swing a golf club.
Yeah,
The longer the shaft gets, usually we see an increase in delivered loft.
sure.
So even though we didn't change weight, we didn't change anything else about it, it's essentially the same head style that
Yeah.
you have now. That little bit longer length, maybe that's what's causing you to deliver a little more lofted impact.
Yeah.
We got you out of an MB 7 iron into a CB 7 iron, so now we got a little more mass below the ball. So if
Yeah.
everything gets us a little bit, at the end of the day, now we're apexing it at 100 feet.
Yeah.
And ball's gonna roll a club length when it gets on the ground.
So the set that I have that I would tell you is the most dialed set in my garage is P7CB's Project X60, but half inch short. So you can bet your butt I'm going home and switching those shafts out
Yeah.
to go back to full length and probably calling it good.
Yeah.
Because those were giving me the same issue as my gamers. Like, I love them. They're the most dialed set I have from like a fitting perspective.
Sure.
Because I went and worked with a guy, and we spent like 2 hours loft and lie gapping those
Sure.
on Launch Monitor, and they were so good. But then right when everything fell apart. So it didn't matter if I played those, if I played these, or whatever. This feels easy to get out of what I want.
Yeah.
Instead of working with any set that I can think of that I own right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Too flat and keep them at standard length.
that's crazy. Okay, where would we go anywhere from here? Or are we? I mean, obviously we're set here.
Yeah. So I think we're good here. Next would be maybe to give you a little bit of a break on some full rips. Maybe we take a look at like wedges, kind of see where we're at. Like if you're happy with your current wedges, fantastic. I want to hit a few shots with pitching wedge, a couple shots with your gap wedge, kind of make sure everything kind of falls in line. We don't need to do any kind of micro tweaking down there, so to make sure all the gaps are gone. And then we'll address that long iron issue.
Okay.
Will 4 or 5 iron in this create enough ball speed to give us our gapping that we want?
Sure.
Or do we need to do something, mix up head style, that kind of
Okay.
thing? Let me grab both 5 irons.
Okay.
Let's hit some with that one. We'll hit some with the 770.
Okay.
I'll tweak up lofts and stuff so they all match up.
Sweet.
And then let's kind of see what some gaps look like.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
So P7CB 5 iron.
Okay.
2 degrees flat, and let's hit a couple.
Okay.
In a perfect world, if we're talking, let's assume we launch it, spin it, everything else kind of looks great.
Yeah.
We need to pick up about 10 miles an hour ball speed.
Okay.
That's the big struggle at the top end of some bags these days.
Got it.
Is that ball speed pickup.
Okay.
So if we were hovering in that upper 120s, so if we can get this in the upper 130s, gapping, all that stuff should be just fine.
That felt better, just a little flippy. Felt like a better swing, but maybe not great contact.
I think you're going to be a perfect candidate to blend something.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that easy, huh?
Yep. I mean, that's another, what, 2.5, maybe 3 miles an hour ball speed over that last one you hit with the CB.
That went significantly higher too.
So I weakened this 1 degree to keep like lofts kind of all matched up. Maybe we don't need to do that. You know, maybe we just keep this at standard 770 loft.
Okay.
If it's going to launch a lot higher naturally, maybe we don't need to weaken the loft to get it to kind of hit that distance window that we need.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, because
in a perfect world, I probably would like that to carry another 5-8 yards maybe.
That's nice.
There you go.
Wow, that's spinning really well too. Yeah. That's impressive.
I mean, unless 6-iron for you now is kind of a struggle club, then
not really.
Then hey, let's do a 6-iron in this too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think by moving to the CB, not really. I think
because this is still going to be a little bigger than what you have now.
Yeah, because even the CB in that is a little bit like tightened up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with that. I'm wondering now if my whole beef with the 4-iron
should go away.
Yeah, that's what, I wonder if that's not something that I should worry about now.
I know coming in here, you never would have thought like, oh, I'm going to be that guy that hits it super high, but like you hit it high enough now that.
The sound off of this is amazing too.
Yeah. Again, I mean, that's going to be 100 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like, if you feel more comfortable with an iron, the fact that we got into like, you know, that hollowish, a little bit more kind of ball speed producing type iron.
Yeah.
I think you can still hit a 4-iron and hit it just fine.
100%. I don't think I'd have any mental, because it's just a mental block.
Sure.
And I don't think I'd have that if I went to this.
Yeah. Again, that's getting us into that upper 130s kind of ball speed window we want.
Yeah.
There's 210, 107 feet.
Yeah, like a comfortable, smooth 205 basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can take that driving range swing and hit it 205 and lean on a little bit if you need to. And
Can I just overzealous one real quick here?
Oh, sure. Yeah, rip it one.
I want to see what happens. I'm going to completely miss this golf ball.
Just went higher.
This is fun for me because like I said when I came in, right? Like I haven't done a truly non-influenced in any shape or form fitting in a long time. So this is fun because even though I know what all this is, I can go through all this, it's so fun to have somebody else do it.
Sure.
And everything that you've done so far has been just so, I haven't had to think about it, right? And that's so comforting for me.
No, you just hit the ball. And
I'm just I just want to swing. Yeah.
I'll do my thing, you hit the golf ball.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would do, so up to a 6 and then go 5-4, 770s.
I'd have zero concerns with 4-iron.
I kind of I think I would keep it the 1 degree weekend. Because it's not hard for me to hit the ball down.
Sure.
But I would rather have the safety of the height, I think, and then play it down.
Yeah, so I would just bend the 4 or 5-iron in 770 to the lofts of the CBs.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
Which is it 1 or 2?
I think it's a half a degree in the 4-iron. I think it's 1 in the 5. I'd have to double check specs again.
But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just a tiny, tiny bit. Yeah. Actually, 4-iron may be the same.
Well, for the video, we'll end it here, but I definitely want to keep going and figure out whatever you're going to say about the bottom end too now.
Sure.
But I think for video's sake, we'll probably end it. But yeah, thanks, man. This has been
awesome, man. That was great.
So cool. I had mentioned, so I have, obviously with industry stuff, right? I was at dinner with BK yesterday, and he was talking about how good you are, and Kyle Morris, the guy that came in, and he said the same thing. So I was pretty pumped to do this. So
awesome.
I super appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And just quarter inch.
Roughly.
3/8 of an inch.
Yeah, it's a little more than that, but it's about 3/8 of an inch.
And the world is my oyster.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, thanks again, man.
Stay
tuned for more, guys. That's it for now. But I think you're definitely going to see what's in the bag change soon.